You walk into a room, and before you speak, something has already been decided. Not by logic, not by titles, not by resumes, but by something older, deeper, and far more powerful. People feel you before they understand you. They sense your presence before they hear your words. Every conversation you enter is not just an exchange of information. It is a silent negotiation of value, trust, and meaning. And whether you realize it or not, every conversation leaves a mark. The only question is whether that mark fades or transforms. Most people drift through conversations the way leaves drift through water, reacting, responding, surviving. But a rare few step into conversations the way leaders step into history, with intention, with awareness, with an understanding that words, when aligned with empathy and conviction, can alter the trajectory of a life. Dale Carnegie understood this long before social media, before podcasts, before stages and spotlights. He knew that influence was never about overpowering others. It was about awakening something within them. Think of Abraham Lincoln standing not just as a president, but as a man burdened by doubt, ridicule, and relentless opposition. He did not win hearts by force. He won them by listening deeply, by speaking with humility, by framing conflict as shared struggle. His conversations carried weight because they carried humanity. Or consider Franklin Roosevelt speaking to a nation crippled by fear. He did not deny the darkness. He named it, and in naming it, he took away its power. His words didn't just inform, they steadied millions of trembling hearts. The mastery of conversation begins not with what you say, but with who you are when you say it. Self-confidence is not loudness. It is not domination. It is not the need to prove. True confidence is quiet, grounded, and unshakable. It is the calm certainty that you do not need to win every exchange to be worthy. When you enter a conversation carrying that inner stability, people feel safe. And when people feel safe, they open. Most conversations fail not because of poor vocabulary, but because of poor presence. We listen to reply, not to understand. We wait for our turn to speak instead of leaning into the meaning behind the words. Carnegie taught that the deepest hunger of the human heart is the desire to feel important. Not superior, important. Seen, heard, acknowledged. When you make someone feel that way, you don't just communicate, you connect. Imagine Thomas Edison, ridiculed thousands of times before the light finally turned on. He didn't argue with critics, he absorbed lessons. In conversation, he asked questions, not to impress, but to learn. That curiosity became a bridge. When you approach conversations with curiosity instead of judgment, you disarm defensiveness. You replace resistance with receptivity, and suddenly, influence becomes natural. Communication mastery is not about clever phrasing. It is about emotional accuracy. Saying the right thing in the wrong emotional tone is still wrong. Saying the imperfect thing with genuine care can move mountains. People remember how you made them feel long after they forget what you said. This is why empathy is not weakness. It is leverage. It allows you to see the world through another's eyes without surrendering your own vision. Influence, in its highest form, is invitation, not coercion. You do not push people into agreement. You guide them toward understanding. Carnegie warned against criticism because it wounds pride and awakens resistance. When you attack someone's ego, you close their mind. But when you respect their dignity, even in disagreement, you keep the door open. And open doors are where change begins. Leadership is not reserved for boardrooms or podiums. Leadership happens in kitchens, offices, friendships, and moments no one applauds. It is expressed in how you handle disagreement, how you respond to tension, how you listen when it would be easier to talk. The strongest leaders do not speak first. They listen first. And when they finally speak, their words carry weight because they are rooted in understanding. Every conversation contains an emotional undercurrent. Miss it, and you miss everything. People are rarely arguing about facts. They are protecting feelings. They are defending identity. When you recognize this, your approach shifts. You stop trying to win arguments and start building alignment. You validate emotion without surrendering truth. And that balance, firm yet compassionate, is the essence of persuasive power. Resilience in conversation means staying centered when emotions rise. It means not reacting to provocation, not mirroring hostility, not shrinking under pressure. When you remain calm in chaos, you become an anchor. Others unconsciously adjust to your emotional frequency. This is not manipulation. It is leadership by example. Emotional control is contagious. Adaptability is equally vital. No two people hear the same message.